Hi. So for this video, I want to share a little bit about how not everything is for everyone. But before I start, let me just check real quick if the audio is working because I had some technical difficulties. I recorded this video. And then after recording this live stream for 18 minutes, I realized the audio was gone. So I'm sorry for those of you who hopped in and the audio wasn't working. I don't know what happened to my mic, but it should be working now. Yeah. So pretty much I was inspired to make this video because I think it's really important to question if you're a fish out of water. Some of you guys are fishes out of water. I realized this with myself. I just recently became a full-time entrepreneur. But beforehand, when I was working a 9-to-5, I just wasn't aligned with it. And I felt it within every piece of my soul. Like I had like a burning ball of like fire inside of me, like of anger. And, everyone around me would just be like, well, this is just life. This is just adulting. This is just the way things are. This is just the way things need to be. And it just didn't feel like it was for me. I just felt like I meant to be a full-time entrepreneur, and that's exactly what I ended up being. But in that moment, I just felt like I was a fish out of water. And instead of questioning my environment, instead of questioning, why I had trouble existing on land, like, I'm a fish, I'm having trouble breathing, instead of questioning like my environment, I questioned myself. I pushed myself. I was hard on myself. I'd be like, just suck it up. Who cares if you're struggling? This is just the way things are. This is just the way things need to be. And so be it. And I had to snap out of it and ask myself, maybe this isn't for me. In the midst of that, I had a bunch of land animals be like, oh, no, this is for you because I'm doing it. And I was just like looking at the water, wanting to jump in, but it took a lot of faith. And for a while, I was held back by fear in order to get to the right environment, to be where I felt called to be, to where I belong. Not all of us are meant for everything. There are some people who happily work 9-to-5s, who happily, live their lives the way that they want to live their lives. But just because that's your standard, just because that's your map, doesn't mean someone else can't pave their own path. And it sucks because for those that want to pave a path of entrepreneurism or influencing or their passions, a lot of people will go and be like, well, that's not a good idea. If you go in the water, you're going to drown. But they don't realize you're a fish. The only person that can know you're a fish is you. And most of us don't even realize that we're fishes on land, struggling to breathe. And all you need to do is change your environment. All you need to do is take that leap of faith on yourself and jump in the water. And once I left my jobs, I had multiple jobs. I was hustling. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, homie. Literally, I was working at a bank part-time. And then I started working out as a barista part-time. I quit my bank job like in February. And then I recently quit my barista job. And I had to take a leap of faith. I was scared that I was going to drown because I've never been in the water. I've never been a full-time entrepreneur. I didn't feel like I knew how to swim. But as soon as I jumped in the water, I realized that it's a second nature to me. Like I'm a fish. I'm meant to be in the water. And I realized like this feels a lot better than what I was doing before. It would only happen if I questioned my environment instead of questioning myself. Some of you guys are pushing yourself and questioning yourself and your mood and your feelings, and you're really forcing yourself to do stuff that you're not even meant to be doing. You're telling yourself you're meant to be doing it because other people are telling you, but the only person that can tell you what you're meant to be doing is you. Perhaps God, of course, but a lot of us are fish out of water because we're having land animals tell us, oh, you shouldn't be struggling breathing. Like it's normal. Like, maybe you should just like work on your breathing techniques. Like, there's something wrong with you because you're struggling with breathing on land. Don't jump in the water, you'll drown. And you're over here looking at the water like, dang, that water looks really nice. I really want to do that. I really want to start a business. I really want to be an author. I really am talented. I want to be an artist. I really want to be an influencer. I'm really great at influencing. And everyone's like pulling you back like, no, don't do that. That's a waste of time. Like only you know what's a waste of your time. Only you know like what's for you. And if you listen to others, you'll end up dying. Not literally, but maybe. If you listen to others, you end up dying out of breath, burnt out, while everyone else is thriving on land because they're land animals. Some of us are fishes, and we deserve to be in the ocean. You deserve to be an author. You deserve to be a full-time entrepreneur. You deserve to be an influencer. But you won't know until you get in the water. A lot of us like to, and I've even been guilty of this, a lot of us like to look out the water and other people swimming in the water to learn how to swim. We'll be staring at people swimming, thinking that's going to teach us how to swim. Seeing other people leap into the water and studying how they did it, but you won't learn how to swim. You won't know if you know how to swim naturally until you jump into the water. No matter how many videos you watch on like how to be an entrepreneur, how to start a business, no matter how many TikToks you've seen about like how to be an influencer, it's not going to happen until you jump into the water and like start putting in that work yourself. You could never know if you'd be a successful author until you sit down and write that book. You could never know if you'd be a successful artist until you start doing art and like selling your art and taking your stuff seriously. You can sit here and be like, oh yeah, well, I think if I went in the water, I'd drown, so I'm not going to go in the water. But like, you could be lying to yourself. Being in the water could be the best. Leaping into water could be the best decision of your life. And you're holding yourself back because of the fear of drowning. People are telling you, oh, well, that reindeer jumped into the water and he drowned and died. And you're over here like, I can't go in the water because like that animal went in the water, he drowned and died. But you're a fish, you're meant to be in the water. And no one notices that this is exactly where you need to be but you. So I want to ask you, like, how are you a fish out of water? You know, what things are you in denial of it being not you, but your environment? Because a lot of us beat ourselves up and we don't give ourselves grace and really evaluate what's bothering us. I was actually watching this video about your ovulation cycle, and I was talking about how the 9-to-5 schedule is built around a man's functioning, and like females function completely differently. We don't wake up with testosterone. I don't know the exact termination, but we don't wake up with testosterone every morning ready to go. And the 9-to-5 work schedule is like, we're expected to get up, work every single day. And for females, based on our ovulation schedule, there's a lunar phase, there's a menstrual phase. I think there's like 4 different phases. I'm still learning about it. But based on your phase, what part of the month you are, there's a part of the month where you feel extremely drained. You don't have as much energy as normal. And it's just your body being a body. It's just you being a woman. But you're expected to put in just as much work as a man when you're literally not as capable of like, not capable, but like you don't have as much energy. And instead of being like, okay, my body, instead of honoring your body and being like, okay, well, I'm in my lunar phase, the last week of my lunar phase, you know, this time of the month is usually when I don't have a lot of energy. My period's coming, I'm starting to cramp. Instead of honoring that and like giving yourself grace, a lot of you guys will like beat yourself up because of something you can't control. Like sometimes it's just the environment. Sometimes it's just expectations you didn't sign up for. And that's one of the reasons why I ended up quitting my freaking job, because it's like, I want to honor whenever I'm not at my highest level. Like sometimes I just want to like, my body just wants to relax, especially on my work days when I'm just like, when I work, I work. So sometimes like I'll be freaking filming all day, editing all day. And then the next day, it's just like, sometimes their bodies literally just need rest. And some jobs won't even honor that. Some jobs will be like, I don't care, you need to still come to work unless you're sick. And I think that's just really not built around a woman's lunar cycle. It's not something, a woman's, not lunar cycle, a woman's psych, what is the word for it? Archidium for it. You know what I'm talking about, if you know what I'm talking about. A woman's ovulation cycle, a woman's like freaking whatever. It's not embraced in the workforce. it's just like ignored, but it's still a thing. Like a lot of us have cramps and we're literally cramping to the point. I have friends who've cramped to the point that they needed to go to the hospital. And that's not something that's acknowledged. You know, some of us don't even get pay for something that our bodies naturally do every month. You know, so it's just a matter of questioning, is it you or is it your environment? Is it that you suck as a worker, or is it that you're not doing the right work? Is it that you're ignoring the work that you are called to do? Because you're being told by a bunch of land animals that as a fish, you should be fine on land because everyone else is fine on land. You know, it's not always the case. Got some agua. I just tried the Dunkin' cold brew, the chocolate cold brew. It's pretty dope. I love the toppings. It's so good. I really hate Dunkin' drinks, but that one actually, I hate less. It's like I hate the least. The topping had some Oreo topping. I'm just like, okay, I can get with it. But yeah, if you have to like morph into something you're not in order to fit in, if you have to kind of like hide who you are and ignore what you want to do, you're just kind of setting yourself up for failure. Ignoring what you truly feel like doing, ignoring your passions and talents, sometimes will make you feel like a fish out of water. And there's most times when you jump into the water, you're not going to drown. You're going to literally thrive. You're going to realize, oh, whoa, I was meant to do this. Like, I'm a pro at this. But a lot of you guys aren't even jumping in the water. A lot of you guys aren't even questioning the fact that you're on land and that you might be a fish. And not everyone's a fish, but some of you are. And you're completely ignoring the fact that you're on land and you're dying because you're not jumping in the water. And everyone's stopping you because, you know, the reindeer over there went in the water and he drowned, but he's a reindeer. You're a fish. Not everything is for everyone. Not everyone learns the same way. Not everyone loves the same way. Not everyone wants the same things in life. And it's really important to like really hone in on what you want, because if you're ignoring it, I swear it could make you depressed and like living life miserably, ignoring what your soul is trying to call you to do. And I'm so keen on helping people with this because I've personally dealt with it. And I've seen so many people that deal with it and choose to keep dealing with it and just keep choosing to keep being sad and going with the fear of drowning instead of the faith of swimming and like thriving in water. I see so many fishes that I can tell would be amazing swimmers, but they're just like, oh, well, you know, what would my family think if I jumped in the water? I might die. Even though like I have this urge to jump in the water, even though like I have a lot of skills that could be well in the water, even though I have scales and gills or whatever. You know, like everyone's telling me to stay, so I'm just gonna stay with this path that I was told to take and just hope for the best. Like, no, that's not what's best for you though. If you have scales, if you freaking have gills, if you freaking are like looking over at the water every day, like wondering like if you could like swim, like jump, go in. And I know it's not that simple, but it all starts with the first step. When it comes to like writing a book, you have to sit down and really decide like, you know what? Let me actually test this out. Let me see how this works out. And you might surprise yourself. All of us have imposter syndrome. All of us have fears. It's just a matter of, are you feeding into fear or are you feeding into faith? From what I've experienced, fear never serves people. I mean, unless like it's danger, in terms of like ignoring what you feel called to do, listening to fear and other people's fears, I've never seen take anyone anywhere far. I see a lot of people regretting it. And that's what I'm here to stop you guys from doing. I don't want you guys like freaking I mean, there's no age where it's too late, but I don't want you guys getting to the point where it's like you spend all this time and money on something that wasn't even for you to begin with because you were ignoring what's for you. Because you're too scared to take a leap on what you know is for you. And maybe you might not know what's for you. Some of us, it takes experimentation. You know, I'm multi-passionate. It took a lot of experimentation for me. In high school, I went to pre-college for screenwriting. I went to like a film apprenticeship for filmmaking. I went in theater for acting. I even script wrote like a musical and everything. And I've learned through that, you know, I really love script writing. I'm not the best at acting. I can act, but I don't know if I'm the best at acting. And I don't want to necessarily always be behind a camera. I'd rather be in front of a camera. And it was through that experience of like really tapping into all my passions that I learned which ones I want to pursue. I even pursued writing. I had a little bit of a writer's block, but I pursued writing for a little bit. And through pursuing, I've learned, it kind of guided me to this path. I wouldn't have thought of this path. I wouldn't have taken this path if I didn't first start to where I felt called. So I want to ask you, where are you feeling called to? Are you feeling called to change your job? Are you feeling called to start that business? Are you feeling called to start your YouTube channel? Are you feeling called to, you know, do the influencing and start posting on TikTok daily? Are you feeling called to post your writings and post your blogs? Are you feeling called to reach out to people and, you know, offer your photo services because you're really good at photos, you're really good at taking videos and stuff? What are you holding back from? Some of you are suffocating. You're suffocating. And it's just as simple as diving into the water. And if you drown, maybe come up with a game plan of like getting out. Like, okay, if I drown, like, let me have this lion pull me out. Like, if I drown, like, let me like have a backup plan. Most cases, like, if you're craving it, it's craving you. It's just a matter of belief and faith. Do you have belief that you can swim? Do you have faith that if you jump into the water, you won't drown? If not, where do these fears come from? Who told you that you would drown if you got in the water? Who told you that if you were to get in the water, you know, you die? Why are you so scared of trying? What's the worst that could happen? And if it happened, would you die? I mean, if you actually jumped in water, you didn't know how to swim, you probably would, maybe, if you didn't have anyone by your side to like make sure you don't, if you didn't have any floaties. But like on a serious note, like if you started your YouTube channel and actually started uploading, what's the worst that could happen? A lot of your guys' fears are unrealistic. Like, oh, if I become famous, then I won't be able to like live my life. It's like, when you first start your YouTube channel, you're not going to become like famous instantly. And like most YouTubers, like, it depends on what type of audience you're aiming for. Have a goal on where you want to take your channel. You could be like a micro influencer and help out a community of like 1,000 people and be a local celebrity, or maybe not even be a local celebrity. Just like have your online community and help those who follow you. You know, you could teach a few people how to do makeup and then maybe even start a makeup business and sell your own makeup. There's so many possibilities, but you won't tap into those possibilities until you first take that first step. You guys like my nails? I just did them yesterday. I took off the press-ons. They actually lasted over 2 weeks and only one broke. And then I just like glued it back on. But I'm impressed. But I just want to do my natural ones this time. Freaking love this gel polish. I use Madame Glam. And then UV Lattice. I put it in my vlog if you guys want to know exactly how I do my nails. But it always, every time I do my nails, I'm always like, because I used to always get my nails done and I see people getting their natural manicures every 2 weeks and this looks exactly the same. I be trying to tell people, like, I'm literally like, hey, all you people, listen to me. It's no ordinary polish. It's a magical polish, like from SpongeBob. When that guy's like, hey, all you people, literally, that's how I feel about this polish, like doing my own nails. Because, like, I've used the gel polishes at the freaking drugstores. They're not the same. They're not the same. I would use them and expect them to look like salon quality. They'd come out looking decent and then they chip after like a day. And I used to think, okay, well, maybe I'm not meant to do my nails because they keep chipping. And it's just like, once I got the right polish, I feel like I've discovered Narnia. Comment below if you also do your own nails. Like, I should shut up about this. I've been talking about it forever, but I will never get over it. I will never get over it because I've seen people who get their nails done and after like 2 days it chips and they have to go back to the salon and fix it. And for me, I'm just like, I even have like a little tiny seashell UV light for like one nail, and I just like stick it in. And if I'm out and about and it chips, which it doesn't anymore because I under paint instead of over paint now, so it doesn't really peel off. But in the past, when I first started doing my nails, I would have one peel off and I'd like carry my polish in my bag, my little seashell UV light, and just like fix it real quick and be like, can't catch me slipping. Highly recommend. So that is all for today's video. I will be live streaming again in April. This is going to be my only live stream of March. We're stepping in, well, it's already spring, and I hope it's going well for you. Make sure to believe, build, and achieve, and I'll see you in the next video. Why did I do it like that? I was like, I think I'll overline my lips. Okay, bye.